it's possible that my friend Deanna might start coming to the group whenever she's in town. She's really a remarkable person. I know you'll like her.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
And,
Well, she's gonna have to commit to 50% of the time. That's,
do the, you know, she's do the
and
best
if
she
she's
can.
not in town, maybe she can be on the phone, like, you know. But that's what we need.
Well, I know she wants to do it, so,
I know.
and she's out of town right now, and she's gonna be out of town next week also, so. But she travels all the time,
Mhm.
which I'm so happy to have her.
I'd love to have her in the group.
But yeah, she's really a good person. She'd add a lot to the group, I think. Okay. So, gonna do the
Let's
charging.
charge the room first. Okay. Tyler, would you like to open it?
Okay, let's kind of come together here. The first thing I'd like to ask is that we bring our minds together. Vicki, join us in bringing your mind in here with us into the room and around this room and around Vicki as a part of this, and Bridget as she's on her way. We're going to just put a sort of like a little protective ring around the outside, and then we're going to raise a bubble above us, and we're all going to be inside of that, and there'll be a special one for you, Vicki, that connects you time and space to us. And this is going to actually create better communication amongst us, and then we're going to invite our guides, our spiritual helpers, the angels, Floyd and his posse, and other people who he has arranged or that we're in agreement with to help us incarnate beings, disincarnate beings to come into the room now and be with us and preparing for receptivity to receive his messages and interactions. Okay, and I also want to give thanks to our Creator, Mother, Father, God, for allowing us to be here today, and give thanks for our friends for being here, for Daddy for being our hostess and our providing this, very nice place for us. So we come here with great expectation and great love, and we look for the wisdom that will be imparted on us, and we thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. So, thank you.
This time, last time we started, we did a meditation. the group meditation, and we started with the top of our head and then went down. to
Oh,
our
it started with our feet.
Mm-mm. We started with our head this time and went down.
Okay.
Didn't we, Vicki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
This time we're gonna start with our feet and go up.
okay.
And we're gonna just switch back and forth like that every week and see what differences we might notice. Once Cindy suggested doing that. So just weird.
I thought we did feet first last time.
Did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
we did do feet last time.
Then this time we'll start with our head and go down. That's what I was asking you. Okay, we're starting with the top of our head. And we're going into our still, quiet place. And as we move over the head, down the face, around the ears, across the throat, feel the energy. Feel the energy as it moves from the top of your head down. Feel the energy as it comes from your ears and the side of your head, over your shoulders, and it rests on your shoulders. Notice the colors that you might see in your mind's eye. Notice if the colors change as the energy moves down your body. Now the energy is moving over your heart. Feel the energy as it comes from both sides of your body toward your heart. Now the energy is moving lower across your abdomen. Around your hips. As the energy moves down your body, you still feel it on your head and your throat and your heart. It's slowly moving toward your knees. Like water running down your thighs. And now the energy is moving toward your ankles. And it's engulfing your feet. Your whole body is surrounded and engulfed in energy. Now play with the energy. And pay attention to where it feels the strongest, what part of your body is attracting the most energy. Jill, would you like to share what this is like for you? What experiences did you just have?
Actually, feeling all the way down, down to my feet. I had, of course, my hands are huge energy places anyway, but it felt like there, and it still does, and maybe my wristband's too tight. But the energy that was around my thumb was just incredible, and I could see like almost like a beam of light come like straight up from my thumb.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you'll notice my face is literally dripping.
Wow.
What about you, Twyla?
Oh, I just noticed that there seems to be, there's a lot of sadness for a little bit, and the other thing I noticed was like it looked like sounds funny, but like an old Western gun underneath the table. And so I wondered what that was about. Like somebody's got how they have this gun, they're gonna pull it out on you. If you're playing a card game in the Old West. And thought that was kind of interesting.
Huh.
And some really nice colors aside from that. Just like some mandalas, things like that.
What about you, Karen?
Felt energy around my head going down, a lot in my legs, going down my thighs, in my legs, into my ankles. Not so much my feet, but I felt energy there.
What about you, Vicki?
Did you say Vicki?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm feeling really strong grounding through my legs, like people are saying too. And then I got almost some taps from someone, or maybe one or two, and the name, both named Mary.
Wow.
That's it.
Cool.
What are taps?
Like energy, she felt like the energy maybe tapping.
Oh, okay, okay.
You mean physical taps?
Both, yeah. Physical taps and then just presence of energy.
Well, I think my spirit guide is close by tonight. He's the one that always makes my face drip. I figured that out. And his name is, when his name first came to me, the name Mac came. And as soon as I thought that name, in my mind I thought, no, Max. And then it flipped again, Maximilian. And I thought, okay, that's it, Maximilian.
That's cool.
So, Cindy recommended that we only start out just doing 3 to 5 minutes of this group meditation and then escalate. I think that it felt stronger to me this week going down than what I remember it feeling last week going up. What do you think?
I think either one is good. You know,
Did you notice any difference?
not really, no. I mean, I don't think I'm a good judge because I do this every day so much, you know.
Well, yeah, but this is group.
Right, but I'm just saying that for me, my experience of being able to, you know.
So
just-
it's the same as when you do it individually?
Yeah, plus I always do my own work too, you know, when I get in here, I'm regrounding myself and doing all that stuff anyway, because I feel like of that, I have to do that for myself, so like I said, I don't think I'm a good judge of that. Probably do more what these ladies really find for themselves than you. And Vicki, what did you find?
Well, see, I've never done it that way coming down, so it was just very different. And so it would be interesting to see what it was like another time doing it. So it was just different sensations for me coming from that way, because I've never done it, even a relaxation that way.
So what differences do you think, did you notice specific differences tonight from last week?
No, I don't know. I couldn't tell.
And that
I
become,
feel much more grounded and connected, but, you know, I don't know if that's because I have a crystal sitting in my lap that I was going to bring or not.
well, I would like to do what we did last week and each of us lift somebody up. Maybe as a group we lift somebody up as well. If there's any particular like concerns or somebody that you want to do this with, I was really hoping that Bridget would be here because of Jeremy.
Well, we could still do him
So,
anyway.
yeah.
I think it would really be helpful. Let me see
And your
if that-
phone is running.
I know, I want to see if it's her.
Hey, Vicki, are you still there? Vicki?
Yeah.
You may have to speak up.
Vicki,
She's trying to-
have you heard of a book called The Synchronicity Key?
The secret what?
Synchronicity.
Oh, it's David Wilcox?
Yeah, have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Did you order it?
No.
Oh, it's awesome, you gotta get it.
Okay.
You'll love
Yeah,
it.
I've heard part of it on video.
It's
but-
really amazing.
That was.
I knew you would like it.
Yeah. One
She
thing
was
I
across
think we
race
need
when she
to
texted her.
focus a little attention on tonight is, with all this escalating stuff in the Middle East, is just to send out
Yes.
love
Mhm.
to everyone. Maybe a cloud of white light protecting
That's a great idea.
all of them, and everyone, and just love for everyone on all sides without judgment, and maybe we can make a difference.
That's a great idea.
Dr. Karen,
Uh-huh.
I also thought of a book for you.
Okay.
Bruce Lipton, Biology of Belief, that I think everybody should read.
Okay.
It is very good.
Thanks, Vicki.
I brought it last time, but you weren't there.
Oh,
I'll bring
okay.
it next time.
All right, thank you.
It's quite good.
Let's work on Jeremy just a little bit. The last time Bridget was here, he texted her 16 times the word hi. And she didn't answer it, but he seems to be somehow threatened by this group. And I certainly don't want him to be.
Think it's more because she's here instead of with him? It wouldn't
No.
matter where?
No, it's just, it's a religious thing, I think. Because of all of the emotional and physical issues that he's been going through with his PTSD, and all the drugs they've had him on. There was a couple of elderly people that sort of got into his head. They're Jehovah's Witnesses. And he read some of their material, and I think, it's such a fear-based, it's nearly a cult. I mean, it really is. And Bridget pretty much said, not in this lifetime, not me and the girls. And I think that somehow he's just threatened by this right now. And he and I are really close, and he's never said a word to me about it, but he tries to come up with reasons that she can't get here every time. And so that's why she scheduled this meeting last thing today, so that she could come straight here and not be deterred.
Jill, have you been doing any practicing calm?
Okay, she's a mile away.
And have you listened to the audio thing?
I have not listened to the disc yet, but I did download from Sacred Acoustics. It's the same thing, and I've listened to it every day this week. So
So is it the bitonal thingy?
yeah.
Has it helped?
It does. It does help. It does. I mean, this is just because I speak constantly with my spirit guide, and I have such a communication back and forth, and I get communication that actually slowing down to be still is really different for me. Because in my mind, working, doing spirit work is actually working with my spirit guide. And so it's just different for me. And it has helped. If anything, it's forced me to lay down and be still. And I have to do it where I'm covered up because I get cold. So I have to be covered up with a blanket. So.
Comfy cozy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Does it seem to take you there faster?
I wouldn't know what faster is. I mean, I have nothing to base it off of. I don't know what faster is because I tried to meditate before, and I think now I'm just more still than I was before. So faster, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't know if it's faster.
It seems a lot faster with me. When I use it, it's like I go straight to the zone. I don't have to, because it's hard for me to still my mind too. You know,
Well, I think it's hard for everybody. I mean, we live in the Western world where that's the last thing people want to do, you know? It's not part of our vocabulary.
Do you use it for meditation?
No, but I have used things like that in the past, but I don't, you know. I mean, I have some other things like that I have used, and I think it does help, like the goggles thing. you know,
Perfect, that works great.
And it has that same type of
Well, it's got
technology.
the same thing.
Right, but, you know, if I was having difficulty in my meditation for some reason, I certainly would be using that. The reason why I thought it was so important is just, you know, when I studied at the Psychic Institute, I mean, doing it the old-fashioned way, just learning how to meditate and doing it over and over, it takes a long time to get in the zone, but with that technology, it's like that, you know, and so
Yeah.
you cut years off of, you know, your developmental cycle, and so I felt like it was a really fantastic opportunity to, you know, get everybody where they want to be, you know.
Are we where we can, are we in our share spot? Cause I've missed 2 weeks, so I don't know, are we sharing yet or no?
You can.
We don't have to, I don't wanna break.
What are you,
I was gonna talk about the Silva, method.
I think that's something that, that's
Okay.
the kind of stuff we're trying to share.
Okay, I just wanna make sure, cause it's a
Yeah.
personal experience. Has anyone heard of the Silva, used to be Silva Mind Control, but now it's Silva Method. I'm so glad they changed their name. It just hit me. My sister, first off, my sister has psychic ability. We don't talk about it. She came clean a week or so ago, a week ago, whatever. And she was like, "Do you remember when we were kids? Mom and Dad drug us to the Silva Mind Control Institute." And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "We sat there and they tried. You know, we did the whole levitation." Or we attempted levitation. The kids were off in one room, grown-ups in
How
another
old were
room.
you?
9, 10. I'm gonna say
That's young.
about 9 or 10. My sister would have been, you know, almost 16, maybe 15, 16, maybe a little younger. I remember, and we were doing, and I don't know why I never thought of it, but we were doing the what do you call it? Bitonal, whatever. I remember putting headphones on. I remember them trying to hold up cards, like flashcards. What's this card? What's this card? And we went for a session or however long it was. But anyway, so I looked them up on the internet, and I was like, well, yeah, no wonder. No wonder.
My friend Deanna is a graduate of that, and she's really good at a lot of their stuff. You know, they're different. They have this one thing where you can just train yourself to click your fingers and you go right into alpha.
Yeah.
And so she's really good at that, but she has a lot of amazing skills in that regard, you know. So I think it's really definitely good material.
Mhm.
And she thought she had nothing to offer
Well,
the group.
she's just like that. She's so you know, I don't know why she's that way. I mean, she's studied with this shaman guy for forever. She knows all kinds of stuff, you know. So, Native American shaman.
Wow.
And she's been his apprentice for like, I don't know, 10 years or
Oh
something.
my goodness.
And,
Wow.
and he does all Native American stuff and a lot of stuff that they do in the Orient. So he's very accomplished.
Wow.
And they do a lot of interesting stuff there.
Karen, did you ever have experiences like that when you were a kid?
Like what?
Like, just to make sure this isn't Bridget.
Mm.
Oh, it's Vicky.
Oh, we lost her, huh?
Did we lose you? Okay, I'll call you back.
Wow. So did you find that to be a positive experience, or what did you think about that?
I had no memories of Silva until my sister said, "Do you remember going?"
And this was like a week and a half ago, she
Hello?
said?
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Vicki.
Hi, sorry about that. I was wondering, was it Jill talking?
Yes.
Yes.
Could you explain a little bit what the Silva method is?
I have since looked it up on the internet, and it's SILVA, Silva method, and they use the tones. They use energy work, meditation, and it's about the alpha and the theta levels of your consciousness. And that's about all. I can't remember exactly what I did when I was a kid. That was probably the time when all of this stuff started going nuts in my head, and I started having dreams, and it was probably because of that. But I just looked it up on the internet and started watching some of the videos that they've got on their website.
How did it affect your sister? You said your sister's very psychic.
She is. I have not told her about the group until she said, "I've got to tell you this. I just can't keep it to myself anymore." Like she sees, it's strange. She only sees when someone is in trouble, when there's trouble around. But that's not true. That's not true. She saw our group. I was telling her about the group. She said, "Oh, wait a minute. Do you sit in the living room? Or no, wait a minute, you're around the dining room table, and who has the big hair? The big brown curly hair." And when I showed her the video,
Bridget.
no, it wasn't Bridget, it was Cindy. When I showed her the video, she said, "That's her."
Green.
She said, "That's her, that's who I saw." So that's kind of what my sister has been experiencing, but we never talked about it. I've never told her what I do. She never told me what she does.
Why
Just
is
now.
that?
Probably for the same reason we don't go around telling our neighbors, or, my sister and I aren't close. We're almost 6 years apart. We talk, but just not about woo-woo stuff.
Have you ever thought about asking your mom and dad why they took you there?
No, I think that's the door. Come in.
It was your
It's
stuff,
not my
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
I don't know why we've never talked. My mother we've seen psychics since we were little. I remember my mom saying all of my dad's sisters coming in and them going and having a session with a psychic, each individual, but they all sat and chatted about what was happening. It's always been in the forefront, but we've never talked about it.
Huh.
And I don't know why.
Hey, Bridget, how are you?
So Vicki, just Google it. It was very interesting. I was very, very intrigued, and I need to go back and I didn't look. It's your typical website about, or your program where they send out little teasers, and then you have to pay to get the real juicy stuff.
Okay, thank you.
You know, though,
I should just give this
it
stuff
really
away.
does help kids. They try to teach kids how to use it so that they can do better in school, and yeah, they do a lot of work with kids. I think it's pretty interesting because I think Jose Silva taught, you know, this to his children early on, and they had phenomenal academic achievements as a result.
He started doing that in the 40s.
A long time ago,
I
I
think it
know
was the
that.
40s.
Well, it was, yeah, a long time ago. He was air traffic controller.
So I think it's amazing that, you know, it's still around. And, you know, they used to have a pretty good group of Silva teachers up there in Norman, but I don't know if they still do or not.
That may be where I first heard of it when we were in school.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because it's been a long time
That's
ago.
where Deanna first started, you know, the people that she worked with were in Norman, but she said they don't do it that way anymore. And she thinks the organization changed a lot, maybe because they died and
I think
something
it
has,
is.
something has
That's when the
changed.
daughter
with it.
took over.
Something's changed with the organization, and so a lot of the teachers don't, you know, teach it anymore, but they do have a lot of classes on the internet. So,
Apparently, they're being endorsed by a lot of celebrities, which is neither here nor there.
Well, I would just be interested to know why your parents originally took you.
Because my parents are closet hippies.
Well,
They are the ultimate woo-woo hippies that they don't talk about it. It's just, I mean, it's true. We grew our own veggies. We dehydrated all of our own food. We canned, we jammed, we vitamined, we exercised, we meditated, we did all of that stuff. My dad was a police officer, my mom was legal secretary, and we were normal everywhere else, but you came home and you had wine and cheese and classical music and meditation and weird stuff.
Wow, how old are you? How long ago were you doing this?
I'm 44.
So you were doing this at what age?
I think around 9 or 10.
Wow.
So 30 years ago. Ish. Less. More.
Are your parents still doing it?
No, they stopped going. They stopped going. And I don't know why, and we don't talk about it. I don't know. Well, they met a couple there, and they did couple stuff. And I remember going to this couple's house, and then the ladies, my mom and the women, all went to Atlanta. There was a falling out, and we never spoke again, and they never went back.
interesting.
So they stopped meditating and everything after that? Your parents?
You don't know, do you?
Mm-mm.
So they may still
They
do
don't
it and you
talk
just
about
don't
it.
know?
We just don't talk about it. I know it's strange. I mean, we just don't.
I think that's typical.
We don't talk about it. It was very private, just like religion. My parents are not religious people. They believe in God, but we weren't churchy people. We didn't. It all stayed in-house. We didn't go to church.
Well, I've tried to talk to my daughters about it, and they don't want to hear it.
About meditation and about this?
About any of the quote woo-woo stuff. Megan says I'm crazy. I said, you think I'm crazy because I do this? Oh no, Mother, I think you're crazy for a variety of reasons. She's actually a lot more open to it than Ashley is. Ashley just, her brain just slams the door.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She'll just say, I do not want to hear this. I have absolutely no interest.
When after my parents died and, you know, my mother came to visit me in my office and in the house and went to visit Barbara, we would say something to my brothers. Well, 3 of my brothers were like, stop, what? This is not happening, stop, this is crazy. If Mom and Dad are visiting you. Why aren't they visiting us? It's like, maybe you're not open for it. We're open. They're just not coming. So it's stop. It was very, but they're just not open. Yeah.
So I was reading this book, that Synchronicity Key book, Vicki. Are you still there? We lose you?
Yeah.
So I was on the advanced copy list because I love David Wilcox, so I signed up to get that book when it first was announced, So I've had it for 2 weeks. And anyway, you know how in his first book, he has this other book called The Source Field Investigations. And again, this is another book I would recommend to all of you, but it's 557 pages long, the first book. The second book is about the same. So, but anyway, there's this experiment that these Russian scientists did with DNA where they took DNA in a petri dish and they used laser light on it, and somehow they could see that the double helix pattern was actually spiraling off the top of the dish about a foot tall. And I don't know if you know this, but DNA responds to light. So laser light is the most coherent besides sunlight. So they illuminated it with this light, and then I don't know what they were doing besides that, but then they took the DNA away, and then they found out later that DNA pattern was still there.
Wow.
30 days that pattern stayed
Wow.
there. And they did some more experiments, and they decided that, and I think this is what's interesting and related to this too, is that they believe that these particles create small tunnels that are similar to wormholes, or they might be wormholes that connect one thing to another. So they say that this, that the DNA itself travels, actually light can activate, that glass of water could become activated with DNA from the cosmos.
Wow.
And it comes through this pattern, and the Russians are doing all this research to show that, and he talks about that in the book, and it explains why homeopathy, acupuncture, quantum patches like I have, and things like that actually work. And one of the strongest influences over those particles is actually the frequency of love. So that one actually is the strongest. And so you always hear about sending love, and we were doing that earlier, to send love to those people. So love connections that you have when your loved ones, they go on to the other side, that connection's really strong, and they create those little tunnels. And so anyway, I just think it's fascinating. He explains it all in the book, much better than I'm explaining it, but fascinating.
I have to share something myself. For about the last 2 weeks, anytime I go out on that deck during the day, I have butterflies that come and land on me.
Oh my
And they
gosh.
sit and look at me. And one of them in particular is huge. I mean, it's not a monarch, but it's very colorful, just different colors from a monarch, and about that size. And in the evening, if it's dusk or a little bit later, moths do the same thing.
Wow.
Now, I have had a pair of cardinals here for years, the same ones. And the male now has started every morning. I'll sit in the living room and watch the weather. And as soon as I sit down in that chair, he sees me and he comes to that deck door and he starts headbutting it. And then he'll hit it with his beak. And now he's started climbing up on the bottom rung of one of those bar stools out there and dive bombs at the door. It's like he's trying to get in.
Wow.
Seriously.
Wow.
And he does this until I finally get worried and I go shoo him away, scare him away, because I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself. I mean, he's hitting it hard and just repeatedly.
Wow.
Wow.
Huh. Interesting. Wow.
Isn't it?
Wow.
So I don't know what's changing, but you and I talked about that the energy in this house is changing. And I can feel it, and I feel it differently than I did before. And so help me, whatever this change is, I'm attracting
Yeah.
the butterflies and the birds, and
Isn't that interesting?
isn't that weird?
I would
No, the
really
cardinals
think that
are
it's
all, they
significant.
nest right where she sits. which is unusual, I think, for birds to nest within arm's reach.
Wow.
You know, which was interesting already. And now they're so inclined to try to come in the house. I mean, what? That's amazing. I've never heard of such
He,
things.
he does it like every morning.
Hmm.
It's just bizarre. And I can't let him do that very long. I mean, he is gonna hurt himself if I don't scare him away. I walk to the door and he looks at me for a minute and then I say, you've gotta go. You've gotta quit doing this. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Maybe you should just thank him. You know, thank you for being here and thank you for, you know, giving me whatever this attention
Maybe talk
is,
to him
you
more.
know? Yeah, that's really cool.
Anyway.
I think there's something significant about that. For
Oh, I
sure.
definitely
absolutely.
do, because
Yeah.
this all happened about the same time that we talked about the fact that we could feel that the energy was changing here.
That's cool.
And I think I told you about we talked about the Fiero issue last week, didn't we?
Yes, about walking back and forth. That was so cool.
Yes. And it's amazing to me. I don't know. I don't even know where. I don't even know what's happening. But the energy is changing, and like that. And that was. I really felt like, oh, well, he's totally trying to get my attention about this brake fluid. The
Yeah.
whole thing. It was just the
Because
weirdest
they were trying to
thing.
figure out what was wrong with the brakes. And I finally, I thought if he went back and forth 3 times, I said, did you go to the same place? Yes. Where in the garage did he go? And as soon as she told me, I said, he's trying to tell me it just needs brake fluid.
I mean, it's really. I don't know. And it seems so simple. But,
Yeah, but that's why I think it's so frustrating. Sometimes we probably getting thousands of messages every day that we don't recognize. Because we don't know what the bird means or the butterflies or the,
Well,
you
that
know.
cardinals cardinals actually have a very angelic meaning. They are the bird that is supposedly, they help people from earth to heaven somehow or another. I don't remember the exact story, but that's why they're on so many Christmas cards.
no kidding.
I think they're beautiful. And
If
they
you
certainly
research
look
it,
great
all
on
kinds
Christmas
of
cards.
Oh, no.
Well, should we go ahead and eat, or do you need a pillow behind you?
No, I need to be standing and moving. Yeah.
Okay, same.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
just get up and walk.
yeah, I need to, it's too hard to sit.
I know you're having a hard time. Shall we lift up any particular concerns we have, and I can tell you, I'm gonna ask the group to help me. I need some business. I need some financial assistance, that's what I need. And I just need to either win the lottery or get some new clients. I'll take either one at this point.
We hope you get both.
Yes.
I would share. Bridget, would it be okay if we lift Jeremy up so that he has a better understanding of this group?
Oh, absolutely. That'd be wonderful. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Jill, do you have anything that you'd like to, for the group to support you in or lift up?
I need a part-time job.
Twyla, what about you?
I'm good.
What about some business support?
I'm good. I don't know if I told you, I'm gonna be one of the first businesses in Oklahoma to be featured by Amazon and Amazon Local.
Yay!
They contacted me and I'm approved, and I think I'm gonna be one of the first 2 or 3 people that they do here in Oklahoma.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
hallelujah.
That's fabulous.
I
Yeah.
hope it brings you
Congratulations.
lots of clients.
Well, they said they only have a
Lots of
9%
clients.
overlap with Groupon and Living Social, and that their client base is much more, with it. Which would be great, because the Living Social and Groupon people aren't that great. I mean, not that they're bad, but they just aren't that great of clients,
Yeah. Yeah.
So this will be really, I think it's gonna be great. Anyway, so, and my little gizmo, I guess, here's what I need to do, we looked it up.
Okay,
I want
there you
my
go.
friend David to work with us on letting that happen, so. The light gizmo, and it needs a name.
Besides like Gizmo.
Yeah.
I don't know, it worked for me.
The Light Force or something.
That's right. It needs a name, and I guess we need,
How
I
about Lifelight?
think something like that.
Like
might-
you have Vibrant Life, correct?
Right.
That'd be cool, I like that, Lifelight.
And you're going to expand into jewelry too, yes? Something?
Oh, that's just,
Already
we're gonna
thought
do that
about-
online. We just haven't
Okay,
gotten that
gotten
done
to
yet.
that part, okay.
Just
Okay,
too
that's-
many things to do.
Oh, yes,
Not enough
I
follow through,
hired
I think
a
is the issue.
virtual assistant in another country though to help me also do all my email stuff.
Cool.
And that was cool. Yes, I was very happy about
Yay.
that. So,
That's neat.
Wow, that's good.
yeah, I was really happy. I found that person on Fiverr. And, so, yeah, that was just a huge thing, because they're like certified in this really intensely difficult program that I have a hard time with, and they're, for $20 an hour, they are certified. Everybody else charges like $100 an hour to help me with
Wow.
that,
Well, that's good. What about you, Karen?
I'm good. Bridget?
Yes, Twyla has mentioned a couple of things and asked me about